Hey, what's up, garden friends? Starting another vlog from the car. Just picked up some nice little cheap pieces of coral that'll be thrown into the tank. And yeah, that's how things are starting. Things are starting to green up outside, looking really pretty. So on the way home, gonna go ahead and put those corals in the tank, glue them up. Might have to make some cuts. Yeah, it'll be fun. Not really plant related because they're animals, but they are photosynthetic, partially. The sun's out. I mean, kind of. Sort of. Haven't seen the sun in a few days. Which is fine. We've been getting lots and lots of rain. It's still cloudy, but I mean, I'm gonna need my sunglasses. I'm not used to seeing the light. And I'm really hopeful next week it's gonna be nice enough to get outside and start cleaning things up and getting spring going. Even though spring is technically still a few weeks off, but whatever. It's that time of year again. Who's ready for their pills? There's no pills here. You wanna get your medicine, Toby? Yeah, good boy. No. It's not for you. Get back. It's not for you. You can't have any. Just give a few treats to encourage her to eat. She's not the biggest eater, and she prefers to eat off of a napkin instead of out of a bowl. What can you do? Here you go, Pumpkin. We got some errands to run. Not we. You're not going. I gotta go, though. Bye-bye. Bye, Pumpkin. I wonder if maybe I have a slightly unhealthy attachment to my cat, because as I was getting ready to leave, I realized, wait, what if she chokes and I'm not here to save her life? So I have to stay here and wait for her to finish eating. Yeah, I mentioned before, I'm a bit of a catastrophist like that. Everybody want to watch a cat food mukbang? Is this entertaining? Maybe I'll insert some music and speed it up. Oh my gosh. They got the doors open to the garden department. Excuse me. Trying to vlog here. Doors are open. Oh, that's so nice. I'm really excited about that. Partially just because it's so much faster to go in through the garden department and leave through the garden department than to go into that entrance and then leave from that exit all the way over there. I bet there's nothing really plant-wise. Probably just bare root trees and stuff, but... Look at this pillow. Look at her cute. That's pretty cute. Magical things happening at Sam's today. Oh my god! No. So fun! Alright, so I've got all my errands run, and one of the main things I've wanted to do for a little while was pick up some more water bottles. I've been using, let me get them. Up until recently, I've been using these pretty cheap, flimsy water bottles from the dollar store. I mean, I love the dollar store, but they just kind of suck. Like, they spray the water sideways and not in a full fan, and they don't give me a lot of distance. So I picked up this guy a few weeks ago from Lowe's. It's just something you put cleaning or whatever you want in it, really. Just, you know, chemicals. And it has your typical adjustable nozzle up here that's not in focus. But I like this sprayer a lot because, one, I like the handle. It's easy to work with, and it can shoot really far when you adjust it into a stream. I mean, it goes all the way back there, and you probably can't tell, but that's a good 12 or 14 feet away, probably. All right, I just did a lot of talking and was not recording. When you turn it down, a little bit more, it's really good on the Vanda roots. You know, I use this a few times a day. I soak my Vandas primarily for watering, but when the humidity is really low, I do this after soaking them. I give them like 15 or 20 minutes out of the water, out of their soak, and then I give them a spray just to prolong how long their roots stay wet so they take in more nutrient. And I really like the handle on this. It's really great. So, I've been struggling with the mealybugs for a while. And so far, I found the best thing I can do for them. You see them up there? Little buttheads. What's been working the best for me has just been rubbing alcohol. It's working great, but I can't spray really far away with these dinky little bottles. So while I was at Lowe's, I picked up a couple more bottles, one for me to just keep my soapy water in, and another one for the isopropyl alcohol. Okay, one thing though, they do not like to stand up when they're empty. And what I like about using the isopropyl for the mealybugs, this alcohol, rubbing alcohol, is that, mealybugs have a waxy coating on their exoskeleton, so that kind of deters most pesticides from getting to them. Things just repel and bead right off of them. The isopropyl, the rubbing alcohol, it removes that waxy coating. It basically dries it out and allows insecticides to get in. And usually the rubbing alcohol alone is enough to kill them, but I have generally just been spraying them down with the rubbing alcohol, giving it 10 or 15 minutes, and then I've been hitting them with soapy water, which basically suffocates them. I also really like to use peppermint oil, but I am low on peppermint oil, and this stuff's kind of pricey, so I've just been using soap for now, and it's working well. But I really do think peppermint oil works much better. I mix it in with the water, and it works wonderfully. And I'm taking a long time to do this because I do not like spilling rubbing alcohol. I mean, nobody really likes to spill anything. But I hate the way rubbing alcohol... I got some on my skin. I hate the way this stuff feels on my skin. It, makes it squeaky and nasty. It's gross. I don't like it. It makes my teeth hurt. That's really neither here nor there. Though, do I really need to say that on this channel? Nothing is ever here or there. Oh, no. Alright. As I was saying, sorry, I just had to handle that crisis real quick. I've got my isopropyl alcohol in here, soapy water. This is actually empty. I need to fill it up. I don't use the aquaponics water for that because, it's nasty. I'm using soapy water. Prefer to use clean water from the tap. And I know that looks like some kind of weird specimen cup, but I was actually using it to measure something. There's nothing weird happening there. I mean, there's probably always kind of some weird stuff going on out here. So I do the isopropyl, spray it down, let it sit for 10 or 15 minutes, and then I do soap or peppermint oil dilution and give that another probably 20 or 30 minutes, and then I'll usually give them a rinse with just water. And I have to be very careful because the isopropyl alcohol is toxic, so I have to be very careful to not get it in the water. That's one of the reasons the mealybugs have been such an issue for me. See, with this system in here, I cannot use pesticides. I can use all natural pesticides, but even then I have to be very careful about what I use. DE powder is fantastic, but not the most effective for mealybugs because they hang out in a lot of nooks and crannies and things where I can't get that powder to go. And if you don't know, DE powder is diatomaceous earth. It's basically ground up fossils, and it's like a powder. It sticks to the insects, and then when they grim themselves, they ingest it, and it kind of shreds their insides. It's pretty gruesome and sad, but it's very effective. And I also don't really like spreading DE powder very much out here because it's also abrasive and not something you want to inhale or get into your eyes. But it is considered to be a human and a mammal-safe product. Even if it gets in there, it's okay because I can go ahead and there's a special type of filter I can use that'll filter it out, and it'll actually polish the water, make it really sparkly. And the water is a whole different thing I'm going to talk about later. And you can also put the DE powder in, you can make it into a paste and rub it around places and things like that. So that may work. I don't know. I'm going to do some experimentation with DE powder next week, probably. And I'll film it and do a video on it. And we'll see what happens and what works. I really just rambled basically about water bottles for about 5 or 6 minutes. You're welcome. Hi, welcome to my channel. So as I was saying about the water, now I don't know if you've noticed, oh, hold on, side note, sorry my nails are so disgusting. I cut them way too short a few weeks ago, and I've decided that I wanted to let them grow out a little bit and shape them again because they looked really weird when I cut them too short, so sorry about that. Ladies, I don't know how, and gentlemen, guys paint their nails too, I don't know how you grow your nails out. Like this is driving me crazy. I give it maybe 2 more days and these things are coming off. because it is so annoying having those in front of my fingertips. Okay, that's enough of that. The water. Okay, so you may have noticed it's been kind of murky lately. Well, I've been testing it. Everything's fine. The parameters are good. Nitrates are actually kind of low, which typically if this were an aquarium, that would be a great thing. But this is my aquaponics water. I prefer a little bit of nitrate and phosphate in there for the plants. That's kind of the point. But that's because it's hot in here. I've been able to keep this thing heated really well with that plastic up, so I'm having to water fairly often. So this is getting frequent water changes, despite the fact that there are a lot of goldfish and koi in here. Probably too much, actually. Some of these are going to new homes this spring. A new home. My friend has a big pond where the big guys will be going in several weeks. The water. So I had that Staghorn Fern that fell in here, I don't know, a few weeks ago. It was in the vlog when I pulled it out. And so much of the peat that it was potted in got loose in here that it's just taking a really, really long time to get it filtered out. Now, there are benefits to the peat being in the water, like it does acidify the water some, which is nice because my tap is very hard, very alkaline, pH is around 8.3, and I need this to be more around 6.8, even lower if possible. But I settle for 7, but I prefer for it to be lower than that. And there are different things I do to maintain that. There's a product I use to bring the water to 7 stably. And then I have catappa leaves in a big basket that floats around in here that helps acidify it as well. And the peat is helping to keep it acidic also. So there are benefits to that, but I really need clear water, nice clean water with a lower TDS for mixing up nutrients and things like that for the orchids. So I went ahead and put a filter sock in here. And this is literally, it's just a big old bag of fabric. Literally within minutes of setting it up, it got clogged and it's overflowing. I am not a huge fan of filter socks, so they're easy to use and efficient. You fold them inside out, give them a rinse, throw them in your washing machine and clean them. I don't like putting things covered in fish poop in my washing machine, but it makes them more reusable and more economical in that sense, so I need to clean it again. And it's only been about 24 hours, and it has cleared up some since I did this. I should probably get another filter sock so I can rotate them. That would make this a lot easier. And then I cleaned my pumps out. There was a lot of gunk in my pumps, so I'm getting better flow out of the filters as well. So hopefully that's going to help. We will see. That'll be updated in next week's vlog as to whether I'm able to get all that peat and stuff out of the water to help clear it up. I could put in another filter, but this already has 3 filters in it, and there's more than enough filtration. It's just a matter of getting it out of there. And I even have 2 pumps on the bottom, moving the water in opposite directions to keep things stirred up off the bottom so that the filters can pump it up into the filters and get it out of the water. I also noticed a few days ago that, and this has been going on for a few weeks apparently, the filter pad that's in this waterfall filter, it's on a disc and it sits down in this basin, and it was tilting up at an angle. So the water was just flowing right around the filter pad instead of going through it. So I had a carbon pad in there as well, and I think that it was just restricting the flow too much. So I pulled that out and I put the carbon filter into a different filter. So I think that's going to help a lot also, having the full flow. And this leaf from the, it's not a Schlumbergera. Why do I always do that? My tenensis, the Myrmictifolia, however you pronounce that. Driving me crazy. Need to fix that. So we will see what happens there. Hopefully the filter sock is going to work. It's not going to let large particles through like the filter pad does here in the waterfall filter. Quick plant update. The bird's nest fern, looking good. It's just pushing out some nice new growth. Doesn't look like it's going to be as big as the old growth. Slight setback there. But that's okay considering this thing was almost dead like a month ago. So I'd say huge success there. It's liking the moisture from the waterfall. The Sarracenia, it's not Sarracenia, the Nepenthes, not quite as much, but I think that's because the water got a little bit too dirty for it to be getting into that pot. So hopefully having the filter pads in there and the new carbon is going to help with that. Now, it's not suffering or anything. It's doing all right, but I can tell it's getting too much nutrient from the water because it's not really putting out pitchers. My humidity is kind of low as well. So it's put out a few pitchers, but all of these little tendrils here should be pitchers. And yes, I have an ant problem going on right now, and that's partially because of this orchid right next to it. Ants love it. They have a symbiotic relationship together, I believe. So it just is what it is. I'm dealing with it. But yeah, hopefully getting the water cleaned up and not having the high TDS in there will help get the new pitchers to pop out. And it, like I said, it could also be a humidity thing, but I think that it's just getting too much nutrient, so it's not putting out pitchers. The point of the pitchers is to catch the bugs, and they get digested in a sense, and it releases nutrient for them, and that's their fertilizer, not so much what they get from their roots. But they're not going to need that process if they're getting it in the soil. And it can lead to all kinds of other problems too. So hopefully that will get fixed. If not, I'll scoot it up and water it with probably my tap or bottled water. We will see. But I mean, it is growing like crazy. It's okay. It's just not giving me pictures. Oh, and when I was at Petco, which I don't think that made it into last week's vlog, the clips got lost. But while I was there, I've been working on a project that y'all will see in a few weeks, probably. I've been filming it as I go along, switching one of my freshwater tank or one of my saltwater tanks over to freshwater because my tropical fish bred and multiplied, and basically there's too many of them to go in their tank. So, and as of right now, I haven't told you guys this, but they're in here because I know, koi and goldfish and tropical don't mix, but I'm keeping the temperature up, and it's been fine for 3 months. So they'll be much better in the tank, though. They'll be going in the tank here probably within a week or so. And then I'm going to try and get some plant stuff done, and that video will come out once that's all said and done. It's fine. Don't worry about it. They're okay. But while I was at Petco picking up supplies to switch over from the saltwater to the freshwater, mostly just picking up gravel, I found these guys right here, which are these tissue cultured terrarium plants. They were hanging up on a strip clip hanging from the side of a plant tank or something like that. And I was like, man, that is so cool. I got 2 different ones. There's the other one. The only issue I had with them was I was like, well, it would be nice if these were labeled. I don't even know what these are. I mean, I had an idea. These look like some type of arrowhead or something like that. But when I got home later, I actually read it more closely, flipped it around, and yeah, it does say what's in the contents. And what I found most intriguing was the top one, Dendrobium. So I have been keeping my eye out anytime I go to Petco to see if they're going to get any of these in that actually have tissue culture Dendrobium orchids in them. That would be so cool because there's a lot of plants in here. This is just arrowhead, nothing exciting. I have some back here, so had I paid attention to the label, I wouldn't have bought this, but that's all right. And then this guy in this bag, this is a Spathiphyllum, I believe, Spathiphyllum leesii umbrella. I don't know what the umbrella part means, but Spathiphyllum is generally the peace lilies. I'll Google the Spathiphyllum and, we'll do that thing where it's up here on the screen and you'll be able to see it. There it is. So I thought that was pretty cool. Mostly just the excitement of the Dendrobiums. I'm looking forward to that. Who knows if they'll actually ever get them in, but I'm definitely going to be keeping my eyes peeled. You guys should too. Let me know. And they also had moss. Now, it is pretty dried out, and there are a lot of critters in there, but they look like they're mostly like beneficial type bugs. So I'm not too concerned about that, and I do have a plan for these. That'll be coming out in another later video. I'm such a tease talking about things y'all can't see. Also, finally got some pretty flowers here out of my Galliopetalum. I don't think, can I show these to you? Yes, that video will have come out prior to this one. I'm going to be, because I am going to be releasing a video on Friday this week as well. Isn't it pretty? Oh, it's so pretty. It makes me so happy. So pretty. And, it got up into the 90s in here in my grow space yesterday, which is kind of warm, but they're holding on okay. And I need to get some type of thermostat set up for my heaters, but they're kind of pricey. And the heaters I have, only one of them is the kind where if you were to just unplug it and plug it back in, it would actually turn back onto its heat mode. The other ones, you actually have to turn them on and set them, which is good. That's a good safety thing to have. So I don't know if having a thermostat would really work anyways, with the exception of the one heater. So right now I'm only running one heater out here because it's, in the 50s outside right now. Spring is coming. Technically the meteorological spring has started, which doesn't really mean anything. That's just terminology for weather people. But it's still exciting. Okay, yeah, so that's that. There's just a big old video about him. I am going to wrap things up here. Sorry, this was just kind of me sitting around and chatting and running errands and being dumb, but that's kind of what a vlog is. So, hope everybody's doing well. Don't forget to like the video. It helps a lot. Subscribe as well. Upload multiple times a week. I'm going to try and upload every single day until the first day of spring, except for Sundays, because I need a day off. But just to be safe, we'll say 4 to 6 videos a week. How does that sound? I'll put my social media stuff down below. Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat. Follow me, I'll follow you back, and we can look at each other's plants and stuff and have fun, nerdy plant time together. But yeah, I hope everybody's doing well. And as always, everybody, keep on growing. Bye-bye.